Hello everyone, my name is Anthony and I'm here to review the 2017 version of Stephen King's It. And surprisingly, it was pretty good. No, not good. It was great. And I'll get into all the things that made it great very shortly. However, before I get started with the review, just a disclaimer, I've never read the book, mostly since I don't really like reading, but I have seen the 1990 miniseries, so I'm going to judge this as a movie itself and from the 1990 version. But anyway, let's get started. For one, the movie has very effective scares. If you want a good horror movie, well, might as well check out this one. It hardly lets you take a sigh of relief, and when it does, it just hits you again with the scares. I'm not gonna lie, there was one scene I legitimately screamed. It takes a lot to get me to scream at a movie, but what makes this movie so scary and what makes it scare so effective is the tension that it builds before each scare. The music, the atmosphere, and the situation the characters are in just make the tension even greater, which in turn gives the scares a greater impact. Not only that, the tension itself started to scare me way before the actual scare arrived. And when a movie starts to scare you before it's supposed to, then it's done something right. Aside from this being a genuinely scary movie, the story is well fleshed out and doesn't turn into a sloppy mess. Usually a 2-hour movie often loses itself given the long runtime, but this one manages to keep the viewer's interest. I won't get into spoilers here, but everyone can guess what the main premise is. A group of kids band together to fight this evil demonic clown that's been killing people. However, this movie manages to make it much more than that. For one, the clown itself is just a form of this demonic thing that's just been terrorizing the town. And there's times when it takes different forms just to exploit the fears of each character. And not only does that make for some good scares, it makes the stories progress as it gives the kids a reason to band together as they've all been terrorized by this thing. And they want to stop it. And while trying to do this, they all get closer and become friends with stronger bonds than when they first met. That alone makes the story more about facing your fears and banding together in times of need, or even just having a good time with your friends. And while it is pretty fast-paced, the movie balances that with very good character interaction. Normally, child actors don't really do a good job when it comes to believable acting, but here, every single actor is great. Every single one of these kids shows great talent and they each have great chemistry with one another. No one outshines anyone. Well, except for the main star of the show, Pennywise. I swear, Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise is one of the best casting choices I've seen in a while. He's to Pennywise what Heath Ledger was to Joker in terms of recasting. He's so creepy and he pulls it off so well with his appearance and dedication to the role, and while I do enjoy Tim Curry's performance, it just felt too humorous instead of scary. Now that's not necessarily a bad thing, given that Tim Curry's Pennywise left such a lasting impact, but it just didn't feel all that scary. Bill Skarsgård Pennywise though, man, he was scary and intimidating within the first few minutes of the film. There was one time when I laughed at this version of Pennywise, but it was a very brief chuckle, because after that, well, it was back to intimidating. And now while I have said that a lot of good things about it, that doesn't mean it's without its flaws. The biggest thing for me was the music. It sometimes got way too loud when it didn't need to. Now I know that's just a nitpick, but at times it did get really annoying. And yes, the main cast was great, but the side characters such as the bullies just felt too one-dimensional. Even the adult characters were just your typical run-of-the-mill parents or just random extras that serve no purpose. At the same time, however, their parents at least didn't get as much screen time as they did in the 1990s series, and that allowed more time for development for the kids' characters. But these don't really stick out that much, so they are just small flaws, but noticeable enough for me to point out. All in all, I thought it was a great movie and a genuinely terrifying experience with great characters, a great story, and a nice deep theme to it, with some good scares mixed into all that. Overall, entertaining and horrifying, and you should go check it out ASAP. I give it a 4 out of 5. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe for more videos like this. I'm Anthony, and this has been Heads Up Display. Don't mess with clowns.